Welcome into another upload, and for today's video I want to revisit a topic that sort of became a mini series on my channel, which is attempting to get Dolby Atmos to play correctly on my setup. So if you're new to the channel, let me just run you through what my setup is real quick. On screen you're looking at an LG C2. Connected to that is an Apple TV 4K second generation, and my AV receiver that's connected directly to the TV is a Sony STR-DH790. So what I'd like to do is dive right into what my current settings are on each and see if I've actually been able to resolve the issue. So let's go ahead and go down. We're going to settings on the Apple TV. Let's go down, audio format. And as you can see here, it's a small victory, but I have gotten it to say now Atmos available. That is definitely a small victory because I tried many combinations between the settings on the TV, the Apple TV 4K, and the receiver to get this to display properly. And as far as I know, this is what you needed to say for Atmos to play correctly. So now that we know what the Apple TV settings are, let's take a look at how the actual LG C2 is set up currently. Press and hold that settings button. Let's go over to sound. There it is. Sound out is HDMI ARC device. Let's go down to advanced settings. Let's go down here. Let's take a look. Digital sound output is set on auto and eARC support is checked on. So when I go in here, you have three options, okay? These seem to be also a determining factor to get this to play correctly. There's PCM, there's auto, and there's pass-through. This entire time, I've been under the impression that you need to have pass-through enabled with the eARC support tab checked on. Those were the combination to make it work. However, when I have pass-through set on and I go back into the Apple TV 4K settings, all of a sudden Atmos available goes away. The only way I've gotten that to show up in the Apple TV 4K settings right here is with auto turned on. Okay, so that's how I have the TV set up. We're gonna back out of that. And I'm gonna go into Netflix and pull up a Dolby Atmos title real quick, and let's see what Netflix says. Part of this problem is, depending on the combination of my settings, even when you go into Netflix, it won't say Dolby Atmos up there in the flag. So I'm gonna go into Netflix. I have a Dolby Vision and a Dolby Atmos title pulled up, and right away you notice, another small victory, it now says Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos as flags are now turned on. Now you're thinking, well, you have a couple of small victories. Were you able to win the war? Well, let's take a look. I'm gonna go ahead and press play. I'm not gonna play it very long or maybe even pause because of copyright, but I'm going to, first of all, take a look at what the flag does at the top right-hand corner. Let's see if we see Dolby Atmos pop up there. And number two, I'm going to mention what I see on my receiver screen down below, which you won't be able to see, but I will tell you what it says. So we're going to go ahead and hit play. We're going to get the screen going black as everything connects up. And in the top right, you only see Dolby Vision. Okay, let me hit a pause button. And on the receiver, it says Dolby Audio. Okay, waiting for it. Dolby Audio dash Dolby Surround. So while I have a couple of small victories for this war, I have not won the war. I am still not seeing Dolby Atmos in the top right-hand corner as a flag turned on, and I'm not seeing Dolby Atmos on the receiver. And again, if you're new here and you haven't checked out the other videos, I have a very similar setup in another room. I have a Sony A80J, I have an Apple TV 4K second gen connected to it, and I have this exact same receiver on that TV. Everything's set up the same. The only difference here is the TV. I even have the same high-speed HDMI cables on both setups. I really wanted to try to mirror the setups as much as possible to see what's going on, because on that setup with the A80J, Dolby Atmos flags are turned on everywhere properly and it plays correctly. So that should tell you by deductive reasoning that the issue here is the TV, but I really like my LG C2, and I'd really hate to think that the LG C2 is the problem here. But now that you've seen how the settings are currently set up, you've seen the Dolby Atmos flags are turned on in certain locations, but it's still not playing correctly, leave me some comments below. If you're somebody who has the same setup, LG C2, Apple TV 4K, and Sony receiver, please drop a comment below and provide some feedback if you were able to get Dolby Atmos to play correctly. It would be much appreciated. And as always, if you did enjoy the video and the content, hit the like button, really helps out the channel. If you're new here, appreciate you watching. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Consider hitting that bell notification so that you know when I do uploads. And until the next one.